loading up while learning that the oldest known dinosaur, Saltopus, lived over 245 million years ago. That is crazy. Wow. I didn't know that. Did you? Alright, so we are in the game. Numudan playing in blue from the western base as the Necromas, actually. So he did not pick the oh so overpowered Withara faction, as a couple of people are, you know, complaining at the moment. So he is picking the Necromas. I like that. And Striker playing in red from the eastern base as the Withara faction. And he's not going for a nest just yet. Oh, he is actually. He's building a forward nest. That is interesting. Every day we see new strategies and new build orders and new meta-defining moments by these guys, and it's so cool to see. You know, that's always the greatest part of a new RTS game, is to see how the top level players are developing the meta and what kind of crazy stuff they're coming up with, and how gameplay is just, you know, evolving. It's so cool to see. Now, Numudan opened with that burial grounds, building bone adepts, just the usual stuff, killing a couple of dinosaurs. Over here, Striker already managed to capture all 3 shrines on the map. He's got a little raptor over here, and the sage and a Dilophosaurus over here, trying to see if he can pick something off. And indeed, he finds a lonely adept just walking across the map, running for his life, and he's actually turning around. What is he doing? Oh my god, that was just probably a select on military and then attack move by Numudan, which caused this poor little fella over here to attack into his doom. And yeah, Numudan, he doesn't care. I feel like he doesn't care about the units attacking me, just wants that creep so bad. And the zombie, is he gonna get the last hit on the dinosaur? No, he's not getting it. And Striker is on the run. Nice micro there by Striker, pulling back the hurt Dilophosaurus. Oh my god, that is such great micro by Striker, not losing a single unit while picking off, I believe, at least 1 adept and hurting another one. And now Numudan, for the first time, finds this well, it's not really proxy. It's not proxy. Proxy would be like on the other side of the map, I guess, by definition. But this forward nest, and he's like, what the fudge are you doing, mate? That's not even a thing. Why would you do that? That's so crazy. But yeah, Striker's got his game plan in mind. He knows what he wants to do. The Wisp standing over here, he wants to build that settlement. And just 10 more food, you can do it. No, he queued something. Oh no, wait, I was looking at Numudan. No, how much more does he need? Well, he actually needs quite a bit more. He queued another Dilophosaurus and another Wisp, and now he can finally build it. The settlement is down. Let's see what Numudan is doing. Numudan's sitting on only 1 burial ground still. Couple of workers coming over here now, so he wants to expand as well in this first game of the series.
What do you want? A brighter future awaits us. Command us.
The worker count is dead even at the moment. It's 20 to 20, and the supply count is slightly favoring Numudan, who basically has 1 more unit on the field at the moment. Another little skirmish going on here in the middle of the map. Not much happening in this game so far. Both of these guys are very... Oh, Striker actually converted a Triceratops over there. Very nice by Striker. Probably that was the reason why his settlement was so delayed, because he spent the power on the Triceratops. I guess he spent around like maybe 100 power to convert this guy over here. But I think it's worth it. It's just such a nice tank line for the Dilophosaurus, so they don't need to worry about dying just right away as they normally do. So yeah, that's nice for the army strength of Striker. And yeah, like I said, both of these guys are just playing very, very passively. There's not much going on in this game at the moment. Striker over here at the next berry location. No third settlement in queue, and also no additional production just as I say, he actually built him down here, so it's 3 burial grounds already for Numudan. So I don't expect a third settlement anytime soon. He's going heavy on the military. He's definitely going very, very heavy on military production. He does not want to die to any kind of Vithara all-in or multi-prong harassment or whatever. So he's like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna be super greedy. I'm skipping the third settlement, and I'm just gonna make a lot of units and make sure that you can't kill me. And it's reflected in the supply. Numudan shooting ahead, he's almost at 80 supply already, while Striker is struggling to surpass 70. Striker now going for this. No, it's not a settlement, it's actually just a resource well over here. Let's see, does he have a third settlement? He does have a third settlement, and it's down here on the next berry location at the bottom. Big engagement going on in the middle of the map maybe, but Striker decides that he wants to pull back. He decides that this is not the time to engage. One unit, one Dilophosaurus being absolutely stupid over here and just running into his death. And it looks like Numudan feels confident about his army and feels confident about his supply and decides, hey, you know what? I'm just gonna, push out on the map a little bit and, show some strength while building that third settlement over here. But it's getting found by Striker, and it's getting picked off by the units of Striker. And Tangle also coming down, making sure that the units cannot engage right away. Striker trying to finish it off, but he doesn't manage to. Very nice micro over there by Numudan, pulling back the villagers, making sure that at least one of them survives so he can continue building that structure. But very, very lackluster military movement here by Numudan. He's losing half of his army over here to the Dilophosaurus, while the other half, the blowgunners, are sitting in the back trying to defend the settlement, and the villager finally still goes down. And it's looking a little bit dicey for Numudan, does it? He's behind in supply just a tiny little bit, but I feel like ultimately he will be able to defend. Striker not being careful for just 1 second over there, losing quite a lot of units. Another entangle coming down, but it doesn't really affect the army of Numudan, because the melee units were in front of the entangle and the ranged units were behind it. But still awesome micro by Striker over here, and he picked off he picked off Char over there. So that's a massive win, I feel like, for Striker. But he needs to be very careful over there, not pushing too far. He thought maybe he can just close in on those blowgunners because he has the numbers advantage, but just when he was about to do it, a big reinforcement of adepts coming in, just ramming into those Dilophosaurus. So let's see, what does the economy say for these guys? It's 52 workers for Numudan to the 57 of Striker, so just a slight economical advantage for Striker, who is still sitting in tier 1 by the way, while Numudan is on his way, about a quarter done, to tier 2. And then we are probably going to see the upgraded adepts, maybe the upgraded blowgunners, and definitely some Witch Doctor HUD action. I'm looking forward to seeing lava elementals probably, but maybe even some frost or blizzard elementals. I don't know. It would be interesting to see how they fare against the onslaught of tier 1 units by Striker over here. I mean, they do have a significant amount of HP and armor and also damage, so it might not be a bad idea for Necroma's player to try mixing in some of those cold freezy elementals into the mix. Striker now coming in with a huge counterattack from the top side, and I feel like he will be able to take down the settlement. Will he? That is just so many units, and I don't think the settlement has enough HP to survive this, and the army of Numudan is completely out of position, but nicely splitting up his army, coming in with one half from the bottom, the other half from top. Does he have enough power to make a Deathclaws ability? Yes, he does, but he needs to be very careful where to put it, because he does not want to waste it. And now is the time. Do it! Full surround on the units of Striker. It's a massive pickoff by Numudan. Deathclaws now finally coming down once he was sure that the army is completely trapped, and Striker losing so much supply over there. He's dropping down from 140 to only 110, and now Numudan, even though losing that settlement over here, is now ahead in supply by a tiny little bit, and his army is just looking so much stronger. Another big attack coming down to the other settlement down here, but there was enough units to defend, it feels like. And yeah, all of a sudden Striker's army does not look as good anymore because he is sitting on mostly raptors. It's 17 raptors and 9, well actually it's more Dilophosaurus than I thought. Where are they? Probably somewhere else on the map? Oh yeah, they're over here, I see. Alright. So it's a very balanced composition for a striker. It's half Raptor, half Dilophosaurus. Now let's see what Numudan is doing. He has just rebuilt that settlement, but where did he do it? Okay, he rebuilt it in his main base, which is probably a good idea because he wants that. He wants that defense in his main base, so you don't want to leave all this area over here, even though there's not many resources left, or actually almost none at all, but still you do not want all this area over here and all this area over here completely undefended, because that means that the opponent can just always run in over here, kill all those houses, kill the production facility, and also once all this is done and you don't have any vision left over here in this area, he can just come in from the top and just, you know, backstab you without you ever knowing it, so you can be completely out of position and all your economy. Big engagement going on in the middle of the map. I don't want to miss that, so I'm gonna stop talking about whatever I was talking about just now. Another death clause coming down for Numudan, who has 2 shrines on the map at the moment, so he has a very nice power income. And yeah, that was a sweet pickoff. He was killing like quite a couple of units over there. Striker, I feel like, is in a little bit of trouble. The Venom upgrade is now being researched at the moment, so it's gonna make all those Dilophosaurus so much stronger, I feel like. And there we go. They are all slowly transitioning into that new unit, the Caustic Dilophosaurus, which has that sick penetration damage. Couple of raptors coming in over here, but they are in for a big surprise, I feel like. They're like, oh yeah, we picked off that settlement, so we can just kill a couple of houses over there. But little did you know, boy, that there is actually another settlement being in position. And Striker is just sitting on nothing but Dilophosaurus. He is maxed out indeed. Where's all his army? Okay, it's sitting here in the back and also over here. So yeah, he does have the supply, but I feel like his army does lack any kind of sophistication. There's no Panthers, there's no Ankylosaurus, there's no whatever in the making. It's just Dilophosaurus, and I wonder if that is going to be enough. Very bad positioning over here by Numudan though. All the adepts derping around in the back, but still it's such a scary army by Numudan with those lacerating bone adepts which have so much HP, and indeed I feel like he's just completely plowing through the army of Striker. Striker is not able to do anything here, I feel like. Is it upgrades? Yeah, he's probably also just lacking upgrades. I don't see any upgrades for Striker, while Numudan has the sharpened bones, the whetstone, and the wooden shield, so his army is just significantly stronger than Striker's, and that might have been the reason why he was able to just kill him here so fast. And this might already be the beginning of the end of this first game in the series. I don't see how Striker is able to come back from this. He was caught right off guard while he was transitioning into tier 3 over here. Tier 3 has now finished, but what is he gonna do? He does not have a bank. His food income is like very minuscule at the moment. It's like 200 food in the bank at the moment, and he does not have any production facilities to make anything else but just more raptors. And well, the Wisps are coming in for the last stand of this game. They're like, we are not accepting the fact that we are dying here, so we are just gonna kill Char. Yeah, okay, that's something you don't see very often. Striker just killing Char with the Wisps, and he is going down. But still, the army of Numudan is just so damn strong. 2 beast stands over here. What is Striker gonna do with it? Is he gonna build any mammoth? No, he is not. He is just tapping out of this game. GG. My god, that was a great series. I love it. Amazing. It's a lot of idle workers over here by Striker. Resources gathered up is pretty even throughout the game, which means that Numudan had the much better economy, because normally it should be in favor of Vithara because of all that additional power income that gets added to the economy. So if these graphs are even, that means that the non-Withara player was actually doing pretty damn well in this game. So this is probably why Numudan won this so convincingly. His economy was just so much stronger than Striker's. He was able to afford those additional upgrades, he was able to afford all those production facilities, and that ultimately made him win the first game. Numudan now leading 1-0 in this best of 5 series. So yeah guys, today it's not a best of 3, this is actually the first best of 5 series of the tournament. Striker now picks the ring as the second map of the series, and it looks like no changes in the factions. Striker still playing as the Vithara, and Numudan still playing as the Necromas, which I find so amazing that even on this large map that is generally accepted to be somewhat Withara favorite, he's still like, no, I'm just gonna pick the Necromas and I'm gonna stick to them, and that's how a real man does it. Numudan, muy respecto. Numudan is ready, and so is Striker. So let's jump right into the second game of this best of 5 Clash of the Titans between Numudan and Striker. Striker playing in orange from the eastern base as the Necromas, as the Vithara, sorry. Sending the Sage to the top shrine over here, you know, to get that power income going, and Numudan playing in blue from the western base as the Necromas, building that burial grounds wide away, as well as the storage pit in the resource line over here, and the first adepts are in queue. It is Numudan. Striker once again with that forward nest. I really wonder what the thought process behind that is. I can't really explain it, because I'm trying to think of a reason why he would be so why he would insist on doing this every game. I'm really trying to think of something, but I can't really imagine the reason why. I mean, normally there's two reasons why you would want to do this. The first reason could be that you want the distance. Little skirmish going on over here with a couple of units by Numudan and the Sage. So reason number one could be that you just want the reinforcement distance, the rally point to the other side of the map for your units to be a little bit shorter, but I don't really think that's like relevant in this matchup on this map with this faction, whatever. Like, your units are so fast and your units build so fast, does it really matter if your nest is over here or over here? It will literally just mean that your units will arrive like 1 or 2 seconds faster, so I don't really think this is the reason. And the second reason could be that you want to hide your production facility, that you don't want your opponent to find it. But that can also not really be the reason, because in War Party you normally don't send the scout right away to the other side of the map, so he won't see it anyways. And like, even if it's not really hidden, is it? I mean, it's really not hidden. Like, if your opponent is just coming the normal way over here, he will see it anyways. So if you would want to hide it... Oh no, oh my god, the Sage! Is he going... No, he's slipping away. He's just barely manages to escape, but he's still in danger. There's so many adepts. Oh my god, very nice play by Striker over here, using the mending power to regenerate 25 HP of all the units in the effect radius. So he used that on the Sage to be able to save him from dying. Very nice play by Striker, but that also means that he just had to spend, I think it's 200... I don't want to lie, but it's something around 250 power or something that he just spent on that ability, and that's not a small investment. So Striker now needs to see if he will be able to afford the settlements as much as he would want to. Okay, he's building the settlement right now, so that is nice. But as I was about to say, if you want to hide the first nest, you would probably, I don't know, build it maybe over here or maybe over here, you know, or maybe over here in the back, but over here, so that can't really be the reason why he did it. So yeah, I don't understand it. I will just have to ask Striker why he's doing that, because I'm really curious. Maybe he has some secret special tactics or whatever that nobody else knows about, why this building placement is better than the normal building placement that everybody else does. Numudan also with the settlement over here, and he is transitioning into a couple of blowgunners, but now already going back into adept. So yeah, I don't know why he did that. Maybe it's for deception, to make Striker believe that there's gonna be a lot of blowgunners if he sees these two guys over here. Maybe it was a misclick, maybe he changed his mind because he saw so many raptors of Striker. We will never know, but it looks like Numudan is content with making nothing but bone adepts after the initial round of blowgunners over here. Worker count is in favor of Numudan actually, so his macro is on point as always. Does he have a third settlement? No, he does not. Building a couple of mausoleums over here to get that supply up and running again. Striker on the other hand also only sitting on 2 settlements still, and on 5 nests actually. So Striker, he's going for a push, I can tell you this much. He is definitely going to go for a push. Also camping the berries over here with just a handful of raptors to make sure that Numudan will not be able to sneak a settlement up over in this location. How many burial grounds are there for Numudan? So it's 3 burial grounds against 6 nests by Striker. Double production by Striker, plus his units also train faster. So Striker will be able to shoot up in supply very fast if he doesn't screw up and forgets to build those tree houses. You don't want to see that supply in red like Numudan is doing right now actually. You really don't want to do this. So little macro slip up over there by the macro god himself, Numudan. And yeah, lots of units in the middle of the map, so we might be able to see the first real big engagement of this game. Another nest being added by Striker, so he's going up to 7. Does he have a third settlement by now? Probably not. Yeah, indeed, he does not have a third settlement. So Striker is content with just going absolutely all in, because I think not having a third settlement at the 6 or 7 minute mark as with Thara is definitely an all in, but Numudan doesn't even care. He's just running right in, and that might have been a mistake. Striker coming in with the big surround over there, but you don't really want to surround adepts with Dilophosaurus. Oh my god, that was such a huge mistake by Striker over there. He was probably way too confident in the strength of his army and was like, okay dude, oh god, he's saying something in the chat. Man, the attack move. is so bugged. Yeah, I don't believe that. I do not believe that. I'm sorry, my man. Attack move working perfectly fine. Sorry about that. Another entangle coming down, and this is a much better engagement by Striker over here. This time he wasn't overconfident and just tried to surround the adepts with the Dilophosaurus, but stayed in a good distance, used the entangle, and then started shooting at the army of of Numudan. But still, Numudan ahead in supply by so much. It's 130 for Numudan to the only 107 for Striker, who is kind of struggling a little bit. I feel like the the lack of a third settlement that he's just building right now, it's just a resource wall. So yeah, the lack of a third settlement is really hurting a Striker. I feel like he just does not have the economy to really support the 7 nests that he built. Numudan also with a third settlement over here, almost on the Striker side of the map. Very aggressive settlement by Numudan, just securing the map control for himself and also securing these very important berries. My god, Striker now going up to 9 nests. This guy is a madman. How is he ever going to support 9 nests of only 49 workers? I don't understand. Does he even have any gardens? No, he doesn't even have any gardens. So the question that I have to ask myself now is, because there's no transition into gardens, once the berries run out, which will be very soon. Oh my god, huge Deathclaws coming down on the Dilophosaurus, and they're taking so much damage. Now Striker is kind of forced to go back and wait until all those units have healed up again. So yeah, once the berries on the map are gone, which will be very soon, it's basically only those over here left and maybe those. And there's no transition into gardens whatsoever. Those berries just ran out. Those berries just ran out. How is Striker ever going to afford producing units of those 9 nests? I don't think he will, if I'm gonna be perfectly honest. Very nice entangle coming down for Striker over here, forcing all those adepts to run back. Striker no, engaging head on, but another Deathclaw goes down right in the middle of his army. Every single of those units was affected by the area of effect damage of the Deathclaws, and I feel like Numudan is just pushing to victory over here. Once again, Striker tapping out of the game, and Numudan showing us the power of the Necromas faction. Secretly OP? Who knows? Maybe they are. I don't know. Wow. That is crazy. Striker with the 386 APM is also pretty crazy though. This guy has more hands than I got fingers. It's crazy. Like, how does he even do that? I don't understand. Oof. That is 44 island workers for Striker. That is brutal. Basically no economy for like a minute of the game. That is absolutely brutal.
Ah!
20 viewers, very nice. Welcome everybody. Just in time for this amazing series. Unfortunately, Striker seems to be a little bit off his game today. He's still playing great, but Numudan is just on top of his A game, I feel like, and it is already 2-0 for Numudan. So if you just tuned in, you missed 2 games, unfortunately, but you can still watch them in the VOD or as a highlight after the stream is over. Third map of the series is going to be the Meteor map. Striker picking Meteor, and once again, no change up in the faction. Striker still playing as the Vithara, Numudan still playing as the Necromas. Striker saying go go. What about Numudan? Also ready, so right on guys, let's jump into the third game of this series and let's see if Striker will be able to turn the tides of this game and maybe win a game and then maybe win another game and then we're going to go to the rubber match. I mean, that would be the ideal scenario. This series is so great that I really want to see them go the full distance, play all 5 maps if possible. You know, I don't want this series to be over, but it's gonna be tough because, like I said, Numudan is playing like an absolute madman today. But I mean, we're used to this by him. He's just a crazy good player. So Striker really needs to, you know, shift up a gear and play like a crazy son of a gun as well. And once again, Striker with the forward nest. Once again with the forward nest. 100%, I have to ask him why he's doing this after the series. I really need to do that. I'm so curious about it because this is not like, this doesn't seem to be like a thing that he maybe sometimes does, you know, on certain maps or against certain opponents or whenever he feels like it. I'm really seeing a pattern over here. He's doing it every single game, so there has to be some sort of deeper meaning behind the forward nest that I don't understand. Because as far as I'm concerned, there's only a downside, really. Like I said in the last game, your reinforcements are not gonna be too much faster on the other side of the map. You just save 1 or 2 seconds. You're not hiding the building from your opponent. There's just the downside that the Wisp has to walk all the way over here, you know, and the building will just be later than it normally would. So I just don't see it. I'm sorry, but I just don't see it. I will ask him after the series and I will reveal the secret to you on the next stream. I'm gonna make a note to myself and I'm going to tell you the secret of the forward nest of Striker. I'm gonna tell you the tale of that particular build order over here. So Numudan creeping a couple of dinos on the map, Striker trying to hinder him a little bit, but he just does not have the numbers right now. I feel like it's 4 adepts and 3 zombies compared to only 2 Dilophosaurus and a little almost useless raptor. So yeah, not much Striker can do, at least not against the army itself. But what he can do is he can wait until Numudan has aggroed all those dinosaurs over here, and once they are fighting as well, that's when he can strike and maybe pick off a unit or 2. But Numudan doesn't even care. He's like, nah man, I'm not even gonna go for dinosaurs. I'm just gonna chase your army all the way over the map. Now though, he is going for the first shrine, and there's just so many units, and yeah, Numudan really needs to be careful. Once all these units are fighting him, these couple of Dilophosaurs are becoming a threat. Right now they're just a little, you know, annoyance. They're just a little annoyance, but combined with all these wild dinosaurs over here, they can be really, really dangerous. So Numudan needs to be very careful. He's trying to go for this shrine over here as well, but Striker just has the vision, so he knows it. He sees it right away. He can be in position and just completely deny any sort of creeping from Numudan at the moment. The Sage once again needs to be very careful over here, but nice micro by Striker. His APM is just showing, I feel like. He's really controlling these units very, very well. Numudan on the other side of the map is hiding his first settlement, so he's not building it over here or maybe over here where you usually want to build your first natural base. He's actually building it over here, so that means that it's very, very unlikely that Striker is going to find it. Very, very unlikely. On the other hand though, Striker, who is also sitting on 2 settlements. Where did he build it? Okay, he's building it right now over here. On the other hand, Striker still has, for like over 4 minutes of the game, full control of all shrines on the map. So his power income was just so incredibly high. Finally now losing the first shrine, but he's got just so much power in the bank already, and still 3 shrines producing that valuable resource for him over here, and he's winning it back right away. Yeah, I feel like Numudan's probably a little bit too scared over here because his army looks like it can easily take on these couple of squishy units over here by Striker, but he's just going the completely safe route, and it's just like, nah, it's not the time to engage for me right now. You can have the shrine. It really doesn't help me if I win it back right now, because you probably already have like 1000 power in the bank, so I'm not gonna risk my army over here just to win that one shrine. Nice entangle coming down for Striker over here, and Numudan now needs to go back for real because the army of Striker is growing. Just a couple of seconds ago it was like, meh, it's not too great, but now more and more units are just trickling in, and it's growing in size, it's growing in damage output, and yeah, it's slowly becoming really threatening for Numudan. How many nests do we have? 2 nests for Striker at the moment, but 3 burial grounds once again for Numudan. So he's just ramping up the production as he always likes to do, and he's just non-stop pumping out those Rax units. Let's see what Striker is doing. Does he have a 3rd settlement? Yep, it's on the way over here on the berries. So this time Striker is not going for the all-in way. He's not just making non-stop nests and spamming those tier 1 units. He's actually going for the macro play. And I like it. I like it very much because I feel like it's a smart decision. Because first of all, Numudan is probably expecting the all-in once again and will therefore play a little bit more defensive than he normally should, which allows Striker a little bit breathing room to boom up his economy. And second of all, he just has so much map control with the shrines that he owns at the moment. It's still 3-1, so his power income is absolutely out of control and will allow him to, you know, defend much easier if Numudan decides to, you know, push out on the map. So he will be able to defend even though he's not sitting on 7 nests or whatever at the moment. Okay, he's now building more of them and going up to 6. Very interesting. So 3rd settlement first. Did he actually convert that T-Rex? No, he did not. It's still a wild boy. It's still wild roaming, or is it? Yeah, it's still wild because it has the white circle, the neutral white circle underneath it, so it's still wild. But maybe he's going to convert it. He has a lot of power. That would be a very nice play to just go for the T-Rex, I feel like. 6 nests still for Striker. And 7 burial grounds for Numudan. Holy cow! What is wrong with this guy? He's really going ham on the production this game. It's like they changed roles, it feels like. Now Numudan is the one who's just making non-stop units from so many production facilities. So maybe Numudan... well, no, he actually went to tier 2 and now has the sharpened bones upgrading Q. Man, this macro, the macro of this guy is just, it's out of this world. How can he afford so many burial grounds, making units from almost all of them, while researching sharpened bones, going to tier 2, researching fletching, building that smithery? I don't even like, I wish I was as good as this dude. It's unbelievable. Striker though, also playing a very, very strong game this time around. He's keeping up in supply with Numudan. He's also going to tier 2. So I like it. Striker with a much better showing this game than the last 2 games. Even though it wasn't even bad the last 2 games. But this game, it feels like he's really on point. And he sees an opportunity over here. He sees that part of the units of Numudan are split off over here. So he decided to just strike. And I feel like that was a very nice decision. He was able to pick off a couple of units. He was able to pick off a couple of workers over here. And yeah, he's equaling up the worker count. It's now 53 for Striker to the 57 of Numudan, so still a slight advantage in economy for Numudan, but ultimately it's looking not too bad for Striker, I feel like. Wisp coming up over here, and I mean, look at the supply. Striker shooting ahead to 170 supply, now pushing in on this location over here, and Numudan's army is completely out of position, and he realizes it, and it's like, okay, I can't defend in time, so I'm just going to go for the counter attack. You take out the settlement of mine, I'm going to take out a settlement of yours, and possibly even more, a couple of nests, a couple of tree houses, a couple of wisps. I'm going to completely ravage your base while you just take out you didn't even take out a settlement of mine. Oh my god, that was such a great decision making by Numudan. Really, really great play by him over there. I love it. he's completely destroying Striker over here in the base trade. He killed so many crucial production facilities and in general so much crucial stuff for Striker while basically not losing anything at home. He just lost a couple of workers and a little bit of HP on his settlement. And Striker, I feel like, is completely lost in this situation. Once again, are we going to see a clean 3-0 sweep by Numudan in the Necromas against Vithara matchup? The power is coming down. Those units. Wow. Wow. Okay. Wow. Numudan with an absolutely stellar showing today. He was just playing out of his mind. He was completely like, I'm lost for words over here, guys. It was just amazing play. And this guy, you really need to watch out for this guy, because I feel like he really is the favorite to win the Chief of the Stone Age Invitational Tournament. Like, there's so many great players in the tournament at the moment, but I feel like Numudan is probably one step ahead of all of them. He's the guy to beat. Definitely. If you want to be the man, you gotta beat the man, and the man at the moment is Numudan without a shadow of a doubt. Amazing play, really. And like, you gotta see that Striker is also an amazing player, right? He played great. He's not like a scrub or something. He's not bad at all. He's a great player, and still, he was no match today for Numudan, who just swept through the series 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, and just, he just took it home. Wow.